What I would also recommend is if you have disapproved ads in your ad account, delete them. If you can't improve them, delete them, because that can have a negative impact on your account overall, and over time could lead to your account getting banned. Hey, this is Depesh. I run a Facebook ads agency and I'm a bit of a Facebook ads pro, so I've been running high-scale campaigns for the last 4 to 5 years, and I work with a lot of people helping them to improve their Facebook ads results as well.
So here with me, we have Chef Depesh, and tell us what's on the menu today. What are you cooking?
We're cooking up lots of Facebook ads results, so I'm really keen on cooking. I love the concept of cooking, and I actually bring that into my marketing. So all of my ingredients and recipes are all focused on high scaling and making Facebook ads work for you.
So like, how do you combine all these three so that the Facebook ads that people are running, they can be a lot effective?
Sure, so one of the key things about building recipes for Facebook is focusing on what Facebook are looking for. Facebook are looking to keep their user happy, and that starts with everything that I do. That's one of the key ingredients. Am I making the user happy? Then everything falls off the back. Am I communicating my product, my brand? Is my imagery good? Is my copy good? My landing pages? Everything else then falls off the back of it. And the recipes change based on your store, based on your niche. The ingredients are roughly the same. And then it comes down to experience. So are you able to make this work? Are you testing enough? Are you learning from your mistakes? I've made a lot of mistakes. I learn from them and I build on them as well.
Questions from the audience. What are some of the reasons websites are getting high CPMs exactly? And will it be lower once you improve on those e-com website changes?
Sure, so there's many reasons why your CPM might be high, and there's reasons why it may be difficult to bring it down. So there's different ways that CPM gets punished by Facebook, or at least you end up with higher CPM. So the obvious ones are competitiveness in your niche. So if there's lots of advertisers, that will increase the CPM. Consider CPM as bidding for a product on eBay. If there's lots of people bidding, then the price of the product will go up as well. And that's how Facebook work. And so you can reduce your CPM by a few ways. Number one is actually page engagement. From the last maybe 6 to 9 months, Facebook have placed a big focus on the quality of your page. Because if you think about it, you start your e-com store or affiliates offer, a lot of people would neglect their page. Brands don't generally neglect their page. So Facebook look at that as a clue as to whether you're giving users a good experience or not. So that's one. Number two is about competition. So if you're bidding on website conversion and the purchase event, think about bidding on payment info event or initiate checkout event. It's slightly further from the goal, but your CPMs will be cheaper as well. Think about the ad quality. Relevance score and CPM go hand in hand. So I would never optimize for relevance score, but if I'm struggling with CPM, I'd be looking at my relevance score and figuring out what's Facebook grading my ads as. What's the experience of those ads? So there's just a few things to look at. Yes, you can improve your CPM over time, but there's some things that get punished harder. So if you're getting ads disapproved, if you've got poor quality experience of your landing page, they can have a lasting negative impact on your CPM for the account as well.
Is there any other things that they can do, like to try to reduce it, or like, are you suggesting that either they change their vertical because maybe that vertical is too competitive, or?
So yeah. I generally don't see verticals as a problem. So when I'm playing with Facebook ads in any niche, I can generally find a way of cutting through better than competition. So it could be my creative, it could be my funnel, it could be my bidding strategy. There's ways that you can cut through. So I never see a niche as too competitive, but I find that people give up too early. They're not testing enough. So test different creatives, for example. So if everyone's running one particular type of creative, and you can spy on people's ads quite easily on their page now, try different ad formats, try different objectives from Facebook. So video views, page engagement, website conversion. There's different ways to slice and dice your targeting and your messaging to try and get those CPMs down as well.
For e-commerce newbies, any good tips from them, from you?
Sure, so I mean, my biggest tip for e-com newbies is don't overly focus on your store. So the first thing you need to do is your product going to sell? Is your funnel any good? So create a minimal viable funnel and don't spend too much time and money worrying about the brand, the logo, the product page, things like that. Get something up that you're happy with and start testing it with traffic. because that will tell you whether your store's going to sell or not. And then you can start to tweak your store once you get some data. But that, I see a lot of people spending months and months trying to tweak their store, load up lots of products, try and get their store working as best as they can without knowing whether it's going to work or not in any case. So do the testing first with your ads. The other thing I would say is start doing customer feedback early on in your journey. So when people visit your site, and let's say after 30 seconds, you deliver a poll on the website and ask people, why are you not buying today? That's one of the most powerful things you can ask people, because the data you get will help you in your retargeting ads. So someone might say, I don't know what the return policy is, or how long delivery takes. You can use that in your marketing. So there's just a few tips to get you started in e-com, and focus on finding out why people are not buying, and tweaking as you go along, and try not to spend too much time or money wasting on things like logos and things like that.
We know for a fact that on all these Facebook e-commerce groups, where people, they keep posting screenshots about how much they can do, like 5 figures, 6 figures a day. And in a way, do you agree that maybe somehow all these newbies, they will get distracted by all the numbers, and eventually they lost focus along the way?
Yeah, I mean, this is a real big problem that I see with people new into e-com, is they see that someone's made 100K in 30 days, and they get depressed when after 30 days they've only made 1K. But what you don't often see is how much profit have they actually made? Because if you spent 100K generating 100K revenue, plus the cost of your goods, you're in a negative there. And so don't get hold up on these screenshots from Shopify, the screenshots from Facebook ads, and think that people are setting such wild benchmarks that you can't achieve that. Look at your own cost of goods, your margin on your products, and figure out what kind of profit you can create per sale, and then look to scale that up and magnify. Because I would rather sell $50,000 worth of goods in a month and make $25,000 profit than sell 100,000 and make 10,000 profit. It's not worth the hassle of trying to sell so much for such a small profit as well.
Nice. How to keep Facebook ads accounts safe? Can you please suggest some actionable ways?
So one of the things about Facebook ads is, when I go back to maybe 2014, 2015, when policy really started to kick in, I hated policy back then, I hate it now. It's all legal jargon, and I'd rather not spend time learning policy. But if you want to stay on the safe side of Facebook, then you need to understand at least the basics of policy. And a lot of it actually comes down to common sense.
Okay, so I do understand that there are some guys where, in fact, they did not breach any policies, but still they get the account banned. So in that case, what would you suggest?
You have to look at the reasons why that happened. So Facebook do try and tell you, but on the flip side, also understand that not every ad goes through manual review. So sometimes you get an ad disapproved, and it's completely legit. If you really, really feel it's legit, then appeal it. Go through the appeals process and just say, this is my ad, I've looked through policy, I don't believe there's anything wrong. And more often than not, I get this myself, then the ad gets approved, because the machine gets it wrong. The machine will sometimes get it wrong.
Okay.
So do appeal it, try and go through the process. Now, when you have actually made a mistake, fix it straight away. What I would also recommend is, if you have disapproved ads in your ad account, delete them. If you can't improve them, delete them, because that can have a negative impact on your account overall, and over time could lead to your account getting banned. So I've had lots of situations recently over the last 6 months where I've spoken to people who had ads on their account from a year ago that were disapproved. Now Facebook changed their policy, their ad account's been banned because the level of disapproval has been escalated. So if you get a disapproval and you can't fix it, delete it. So there are some ways you can kind of protect yourself from some of these problems as well.
Okay. Last question. When you are scaling, do you increase the budget or you duplicate, or both?
So if I go back to early 2018, I used to duplicate, I used to do manual bid, I used to do a lot of the hacks which a lot of people use because they used to work. Facebook made a fundamental change with the algorithm around February, March time 2018, which impacted that kind of growth strategy. What I actually do right now, and one thing that's really been working over the last 2 months, is testing ads and audiences, seeing which ones are working with a typical kind of ad set budget, and then moving it to a campaign budget optimized campaign.
So that's where you set the campaign level.
That's CPI at the campaign level. So you put the spend at the top level, you put your best ads in at the ad set level and at the ad level, but then you also use automation to pause out any bad performers.
So it's kind of like setting up the rules, automated rules.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So you can scale up really quickly from 1K to 10K a day, and it doesn't impact the ad set negatively because Facebook spreads it across all ad sets. It's the safest and fastest way of scaling as long as you do your groundwork in advance.
Okay, just a quick one. Like, we know that campaign budget optimization. Do you do it before you test the creative, or after you have got a winning combo as to your targeting and also your ads, only you run it on the CBO?
Sure, so I've experimented with CBO a lot since it came out. I was really excited to see it, and I had lots of failure. I just couldn't figure out why was it not working. And then I figured out when CBO has a good audience, a good ad, and a good lander and good performance, it performs really well. So if you add things into your CBO campaign that are not tested, generally they don't work well, and it brings down the general performance as well.
It's always better to put something which is proven and
pre-test it, put it into CBO.
Nice.
The other tip I would share with you, and this is time and time that's worked for me as well, is use higher budgets and use the one-day click optimization, because for some reason the campaign budget doesn't work so well when you use 7 days. So use 1 day and use higher budgets as well.
Right. Thank you so much for sharing. I learned so much today. Thank you so much. Yeah.